Ever wonder what homeowners regret after listing their property? Stay tuned. We're going to give you 5 things homeowners regret and you can learn from their mistakes. The number one mistake that homeowners regret after listing their home is not keeping up with the general maintenance of the house. When it comes time to list, they just put it on the market and they've left all the general maintenance still to be done. So when buyers come in and they see this, maybe the repair only costs $500 to do, but in a buyer's mind, it costs $5,000. So they're asking you for a $5,000 discount when you could have had this job done for $500. Or it could be, like, I don't know, restaining wood. Wood's a higher maintenance item. And if you're not out there restaining, then maybe it just falls out to a full, you need to replace it, which is gonna be a lot more expensive. So number one mistake that sellers regret is not keeping up with the maintenance and listing their home without doing the maintenance ahead of time. Number 2 is overpricing the property. And let me tell you why sellers regret overpricing the property. When you have showings, it is a daunting task with the kids and the dogs to keep your house clean, to have people come through the house, to leave while they're showing. If you have an overpriced home, it sits on the market longer, and that ends up being more work for you. That's the more times you have to clean, the more times you have to leave your house and get the home ready for a buyer to walk through. So if you price it right, you'll have the least amount of work on your end. Number 2 regret is overpricing the home. The third thing that sellers regret after they list their home is in the negotiation process. Negotiations can be very emotional. Some sellers just want to accept the first offer that comes in, but it might not be the best offer. There could be like caveats in it that you're not going to like. We talk through each of those things that could happen in each offer. Another type of negotiation is to not accept any offer. No offer's good enough. You play super hardball with everybody. And those are just 2 things that could happen where you're under contract with somebody you don't really want to be under contract with, or you've turned away buyers that a month later you're like, oh, maybe that offer, I would have taken that now that it's set for another month. So negotiations, it's another thing that people regret after listing their home, the way they negotiated. Another thing that people regret is underestimating the cost of selling their home. It's really good to talk about all the different expenses, what your closing costs are going to be, different repair limit budgets, and what you're going to net through each contract. Sometimes people think that they're going to make a certain amount, and when they don't hit that number, it can end up being a regret for them. The last regret is kind of specific to the McCall area, and it has to deal with vacation homes. If you're selling your vacation home, make sure that you go through and talk about the 1031 process. Some people, when they have listed their home and it sells, they're like, oh, I didn't even think about doing a 1031 to buy, because they're buying another vacation house somewhere else. And then all the paperwork have to be done at the last minute or something like that. So that would be another regret that people have after listing their home, is not pre-planning the 1031 process when selling a vacation home. If this video has given you more information, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.